All previous
We're back. You are listening to TurboCharge Your Business on the number one global business talk and news network on the internet, IBGR, International Business Growth Radio. I'm your host, Patty Lawrence. This is episode 47, Understanding Your Numbers. Be sure to go to our website at ibgr.network and download the show notes. So, let's do a quick recap about financial intelligence. The four areas, again, are your basic financial measures: income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, cash and profit, understanding what's what with that. Understanding that finance and accounting are art as well as science, they can coexist. That's important to understand. And then having that analytical element in your business. That's, part of basic financial intelligence is that analytical element. And that's really, really important as it relates to our topic, which is understanding your numbers. So, analysis and the analytical expertise and horsepower that needs to be in your business, you will need it because that's how you get answers, right? That's the answers to the why, right? As a business owner, you should be asking why. What is it? Why? You should sound like a 2-year-old. Why? Because, and it's not just because is just the start, right? Because of this, what it's cause and effect, right? We need to understand that. And the analysis is going to, it's like unpeeling the onion, right? Peeling off the layers of the onion to get to the real answer, right? And that's what we need. We need the real answers within our business. And then the last element is understanding the big picture. What is the big picture? What's the environment that we're operating in? What's going on with customer demand and their different customer tastes and needs, and the competitive landscape and the economy, and all of those factors go into really basic financial intelligence. And then the big piece that we're going to be talking about here is understanding your numbers. What the heck is that? We talked a little bit in the last one about owning your numbers and why that's so important, and giving you some examples of what that looks like in your business, or what that can look like in your business if it doesn't already exist. So, what does understanding your numbers, where does that come from? Well, you, as the business owner, you need to know what is a quote good number and what is a quote bad number in your business. And I use good and bad just relatively. What constitutes doing well in your business and what constitutes not doing well in your business? There's a lot of there's a lot of numbers floating around in your business, but how do you discern what's good and what's not? Are you in the right are you headed in the right direction? Quote, definition of good number. Are you headed in the wrong direction? Definition of the bad number, right? So now that we have kind of a definition of good number versus bad number, what does that all mean, right? Well, the first thing we talked about in owning your numbers is that your company's financial status and reports are available to you on demand, right? So that's part of owning your numbers. And that translates right into understanding your numbers. So that's a foundational element that has to be there to be able to understand your numbers. You have to own them. You have to have access to them. And when you have access, ready access to those numbers, and the numbers are timely, then you can begin to understand what those numbers actually mean. And you can use the company's financial status to educate yourself over time, right? Especially if you have analytical horsepower within your financial function, your finance and accounting function. So if you have a person who can give you answers to the why question that you have every month or every week, you know, how did we get there? Why are our numbers so high? Why are our numbers so low? Why are our numbers, higher than last year? Why is our spending lower than last year? Why is our revenue higher than last year? Where's it coming from? And you just keep asking those questions because that's how you drill down and get to the actual answer. What is the driver? And understanding what is driving your performance and driving your operations. And again, cause and effect. That's what we're trying to get to, is understanding the analytical side, right? Understanding the analysis. What is the story behind the numbers? That's what at TurboExecs, that's what we reveal. That's what our brand promises. We reveal the story behind the numbers because your numbers tell a story. They tell a story about your business. They tell a story about your operations. They tell a story about your sales and about your customers and about your business's overall performance. And it's up to you as the business owner, as you understand these numbers, as you pull them in and the analysis behind them, it's up to you to change the trajectory of it and to understand and to make decisions on it. So decisions based on, are those numbers good, leading us down the path that we want to go, or are they bad? Are they leading us in a direction that we don't want to continue to go down? And we need to change the trajectory. The other thing that these numbers pull in for us and in understanding your numbers is looking at the ability to look at trends and comparisons versus our benchmarks. So we talked a little bit about this in some of our reporting and budgeting um, segments previously. So we talked about trends. Trend lines are basically actual, month, or week. So we can see what is going on. So are we trending up? We trending down? Are we flat? What's going on there? Again, analysis. The second piece of it is comparing versus benchmarks. So we can compare versus prior year. We can compare versus a budget. We can compare versus a forecast. We can compare versus prior quarter or last month or a year ago. Whatever that is, it's going to tell a story. And understanding what those numbers are telling us and what those trends and comparisons are telling us is really important, because when we go back to a budget, we know the art and science of it. We know what the rules and estimates and assumptions were behind that budget. And then we can make quicker decisions on that information once we understand it. That's key. So again, we take control of our destiny. And how do we do that? Because we understand the story behind the numbers. Those numbers present themselves in such a way and in such a format that we can understand what they're telling us about our operations, about our customers, about our business. And when we are loaded with that information, we are armed with that information, we can make data-driven decisions and insightful decisions for our business to take it to the next level or to take it where we plan to take it. So, strategic plan, budget, whatever those plans are, and whatever plans are in your head as the business owner, they're going to be executed on. So long as we have an understanding of what the numbers are telling us, we can act on those. We can also impact our profitability. We can understand and motivate our teams as well with those numbers. So how do we share that information? How do we use that information? How do we, utilize that information to amp up what we're doing within our business? Remember, financial intelligence isn't just for business owners, although you need to be the start of it. We can also help our teams understand what's important in the numbers. So if we have KPIs or whatever it is, we need to be able to share that information so that our results are impacted positively by it. So we're going to take a short 2-minute break right now. And when we return, we'll be talking about impacting your numbers. Be sure to check out my collection of free resources at TurboExecs.com/TurboCharge. And you can continue the conversation with me, Patty Lawrence, on LinkedIn. You've been listening to TurboCharge Your Business in episode 47, Understanding Your Numbers on IBGR. I'm Patty Lawrence, and we'll be back after a short break.